I kind of wanted to hop on here to talk about what a crazy year it's been. But first, sorry. Oh my god, 2024 has been probably, it's been the busiest, craziest year of my life. And I've never really sat down and kind of processed much when I decided to take my break here in this month of December. I didn't really have much plans to kind of make a video. As you can see, I'm on the floor right now as I'm kind of writing out my plans for next year, but also doing client work. And it feels more intimate when I'm kind of sitting down and kind of talking to you guys. As in my friends and family and a bunch of the small crowd that follows me for whatever reason you guys do. And excuse the noise that's coming from outside. If you can hear it, I have my niece over for the holidays, so she might be making some noise, so please disregard the noise over there. But also, just for reference, these are just lessons that I've learned through my personal experience. Everybody's situation is different, so take whatever I say with a grain of salt. It might not apply to anybody, but take bits and pieces of the lessons that I have learned, and hopefully you can avoid the mistakes that I have made throughout my career this year. So without further ado, here are 24 things I learned in 2024, being 24. All right, the first one is trust with caution. I've met so many amazing people throughout these past 12 months, and I can't tell you how grateful I am to have met these people, but that also came with a lot of bad people that I've met. Some of them were business partners and some of them were friendships. I kind of learned throughout just to keep just a guard a little bit when I'm meeting somebody new, not necessarily give 100% of my energy, my time to them, because sometimes it does come with consequences. But if you do end up meeting those lucky people, those day ones, hold on to them. Number 2, having a good routine kind of helped me build structure in my life, build discipline, and I think that's one of the biggest things that helped kind of put me on track to the goals that I've set out for myself this year. And number 3, be able to pivot when things get rough. Oh my god, where do I even start with this one? Now, when I was planning a lot of projects throughout this whole year, you come up with a structured plan. Some of them took months, and then you get to the actual production date, and some things just don't always go to plan. So that just happens with my career, even in life. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but when things do get rough, learning how to make the best out of the situation you are currently in right now, and then being able to pivot to alternative solutions and not let your emotions get the best of you, because it certainly had on me. And I was able to get myself out of some pretty bad situations, but you learn from them. Number 4, sleep. Sleep is very important. I remember it was during festival season, somewhere around May. I believe it was like the end of May, where I started pre-production around Monday, Tuesday, and then start the filming process around, I'd say Thursday. So around 3 days of actual pre-production, and then Thursday is when the time where I actually had to go up and scout the festival, start my B-roll, do X, Y, and Z, film the concert on Friday, Saturday film, Sunday film, and Monday film. And I can't tell you how many times I can stress to you that I just felt so out of body. I felt like my soul had left me at one point. I'd start the day on Friday like 10 a.m., then end the show at 1 a.m., then do after parties till 4 a.m., go and edit because they wanted a fast turnaround time, start the festival back up again on Saturday, like that following day, 10, back to 1, film afters, back to back until Monday. And I remember I just couldn't, like, I was holding on for dear life. The only thing that kind of got me through, I was just knocking back Red Bull. I wasn't eating a proper nutritious diet. I was just gunning through it. Now, it was such a limited amount of time, but with those opportunities, you know, people start to see at least the work that I put out, and I started to get hired out even more to kind of film these stuff, especially with artists. Now, by golly, it started to become a routine, and you know, I'd find myself on Mondays when they're technically supposed to at least be like a little bit of a rest day. I started editing from Monday to Wednesday, go back on the road Thursday, start filming for Friday, Saturday to Sunday, and edit back to back to back. And I was just a hamster on the wheel. And that's when I realized, after 6 months of actually doing it, I realized how important sleep was. I remember Monday to Friday, I was just sleeping from I'd sleep from 9 p.m., wake up around 8 a.m., and then I'd go back to sleep around 11, and then I'd wake up around 4, then I'd play games, and then I was just doing that for 7 days straight. And I can just tell you how much my body was suffering and how much I knew I needed sleep. So sleep is very important. Please do not disregard sleep at all. Number 5 is build a good relationship and work towards them. I noticed throughout the years that my relationships with my friends, my family, and even coworkers, that I was just so dialed in to work. I kind of made it my whole life, and then I kind of missed out on that part of myself where I wish I could have spent more time with my family and friends. I wish that, I didn't have to miss a lot of birthdays. I didn't have to miss a lot of family gatherings. Just recently started to at least say no to specific jobs and actually, show up for my friends. I have such a good support system now. Everything is balanced with work and relationships, and you have to at least try to put in effort to initiate a text to a friend or a family member and just say what's up, FaceTime, do whatever you want. Connections are very important. We're humans, we thrive off of that. I've been on the floor, my leg is kind of getting numb. All right. Number 6, remember why you started. I got my head lost in the clouds multiple times. I remember throughout that period of burnout, high rush stimulations on Red Bull, the crowds, and everybody screaming, that I lost track of what really mattered, and I felt lost. Now, this is a constant thing you have to do. And this is a constant thing that I have to do. This is a reminder to me, yes, I'm talking to you, that you had a purpose and you started with something in the beginning that gave you that fire. It could be fleeting from time to time, but you just got to remember why you started this career in the first place. Find the true meaning of that. My purpose changes from time to time, but constantly reminding myself of when I first picked up the camera, it gives me a sense of purpose and passion and motivation to just keep going towards the goal that I have. Number 8 is have fun doing what you love. I was very blessed enough in my career to make a living out of producing videos and shooting photos for a specific amount of artists. I'm not going to name off who, but you can find it on my socials. with that, having fun with what you do, I get paid to travel, show up, and not a lot of people in this time actually had been given that opportunity to actually pursue something that they wanted to do. I've noticed I've been very blessed. The opportunities, the time that they have given me, because without them, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. So I've been very thankful, very thankful. I'm blessed. So just have fun doing what you love. And if you're in a job right now that you don't love, that you do it because it financially supports you, always hold on to that dream, but also don't forget the reason why you're doing it. Because at the end goal, once you've built up or you've put yourself in a position where you're able to do your passion and find compensation through that, I don't know if I can guarantee you this, but you'll be a very happy person once you find that. So have fun doing what you love. A bit of a cliche saying, but it has some deeper meaning towards it if you look really deep enough. Number 9, learn more about yourself. There are moments where I had to pull myself back a little bit and then think that it's just like, do I know myself on a physical standpoint? Am I able to handle this job? Or if I'm able to even compensate myself properly? Do I have the facilities to do it? Do I have the camera equipment? Do I even have the physical prowess to do the job? As I was finding out later this year, I was learning a lot more about myself, of things that I like, things that I don't like, and things that I know that I can pursue for the long term. So I kind of encourage a lot of people to really dive deep and actually learn more about yourself, because learning about yourself, of things that you're capable of and things that you like and things that you don't like, can at least help guide you to where you need to be. So yeah. Number 9, learn more about yourself. All right. Number 10, every opportunity has a lesson in it. I stand by it to this day, that every opportunity, whether it's bad or good, has a lesson in it. So whether you take up that job that you don't like, if you're not in the position to say no to the job, there's a lesson within it. Just like with failure, and just like with accomplishments, there's a lesson in everything. And if you look at it from that standpoint, it'll put your mind at ease. So the value in having a great mentor. My mentors, John, Jerome. When I first went to college, they were the main people who helped kind of steer me in the direction of proper lighting techniques, or proper sound, proper color, proper composition, and then just a different way of looking at life. I think whenever I kind of fell off the railroad tracks, they were always there to kind of realign me. They gave me a sense of purpose. I can't thank them enough for it. And I believe if I didn't have those 2 people in my life, I don't think I'd be able to be where I'm at today. Or anything that you want to achieve, having a great mentor helps a lot. 12, control your ego. Yeah. You can tell this past year I've been talking about this recurring thing of being lost. And I've let my ego get the best of me on a lot of decisions. There's moments where I catch myself bragging about a lot of things that I'm proud of. I catch myself saying things that shouldn't really be said in that moment. And I wish or what I'm doing right now is that I'm slowly starting to at least notice that hey, this isn't normally how I talk. What I would usually say if somebody gave me a compliment, I would just either say I wouldn't be in this career path if it wasn't these specific people. I have done nothing. I wouldn't have known anything to help get you that vision that you wanted if it wasn't for these people, honestly. Number 13, shut up and listen. There were a lot of points in my career where I was just always trying to act like I knew what I was talking about, even though I didn't have no clue what the hell I was talking about. I think I was just playing with that mentality of fake it till you make it. There are points where it's just like I wasn't really absorbing information from what somebody was telling me. I was always blocking it throughout one ear out the other, and then I was just not like, I was giving input that wasn't really needed. What I kind of noticed is that when I just shut up and listen, I'm kind of taking in the information and I'm kind of just learning in the process. 14. Don't be afraid to reach out for help. I think in this career path that I took, there's a lot of people who think that they can just film a multicam set just by themselves. Now, I praise you to the people who actually do that, because it takes out a lot of energy from you. And, you know, as I kept repeatedly doing stuff by myself, I started to slowly lose my mind. So, with that, like, these people are colleagues of mine and they're also friends. And then when I asked out for help when I was in dire need of it, they were willing to just, you know, give their hand and help out. And it just made the job so much easier for me. And if you're dealing with stuff like mentally, if you're going through stuff mentally, you know, seeking professional help should always be a thing. But also, if you are blessed in life to have a good support system, talking one-on-one to somebody that you really trust does make a big difference, and it helps loosen up the weight off your shoulders a little bit. So it makes carrying that rock up the mountain a little bit less strenuous. So yeah, don't be afraid to reach out for help. You're gonna need it in the long run. 15. It kind of goes coherently with each other, but I realized this year that collaboration was key. Oh my god, collaboration was key. There's certain points where I wanted to do a certain project which I had maxed out all my resources on, and I knew I needed more resources as far as lighting and camera equipment. So I reached out to a lot of my film buddies, and they were willing to help out, give me input on lighting, colors, and then also sound. And the way things were composed too, just seeing a different vision outside from my own really helped me and helped create a lot of amazing projects. So collaboration was key this year, and I can't wait to collaborate with more people next year. 16, be open to failure. Like I said, goes with the whole theme of the video too, is if you can avoid drastic failure, I would suggest that. But, you know, if there's a passion project and you know you didn't do well in it, you know, don't beat yourself up. You know, if you failed on it, if you keep failing, you're gonna avoid the mistakes you made in the past. But if you're arrogant and you keep making the same mistakes, I don't know what to tell you. I guess you just need to switch your mindset. 17 is building a good foundation on faith. Now, I felt like when I built a good foundation on faith, that like I started to slowly get into my religion and slowly start to learn about it. Some things I agree on, some things I don't, but I was able to consistently practice it, and then it gave me a good middle ground to at least make me feel grounded, make me feel like I had a sense of purpose. Whatever religion you have, build a good foundation on it. Have that Beery pyramid of, like, you know, faith, family, friends, and then like your career path. You know, it's always something good to look on. Number 18, fitness is necessary. And I think it's a good decompressor for me. Like, I get to at least think about like what I'm supposed to work out like this day, instead of just like thinking about what edits. Now, don't get me wrong, I still have those moments when I'm running and I think of video ideas. I think having a fun fitness activity that you enjoy doing on a consistent basis helps a lot, and it only helped me this year when I started picking up running, and then doing a little bit of hybrid training here and there. Number 19, have a hobby. I slowly found out that like I gotta have a life outside from filming and doing photography. So I picked up cooking. Cooking has been fun. Like I said, it's just like another thing to like decompress your mind away from like actual work. So cooking is very therapeutic for me. It's fun. It's a hobby. Find a hobby. Do something that like isn't your 9 to 5. Do the exact opposite. Just make sure it's within the law. 20. Know that you'll fall off track. I think reminding yourself that like life is life, and you know it goes like this. You're gonna fall off track of a routine or whatsoever, but I think reminding yourself that you're going to fall off track and it's okay, as long as you can promise yourself that like, hey, starting Monday, I'm gonna get back to a good enough routine. It helped me a lot when I had to remind myself. It's like, okay, I'm gonna fall off track, but I know Monday when I show up at the gym and then I do my routine, I'm gonna feel at least some sense of sanity that I've accomplished what I was able to do. If it wasn't everything that I wanted to do, I'd be okay with that, and there's always tomorrow. So be open to the fact that you're gonna fall off track. It's okay. Life happens. I'm going to get through it. 21. Being selfish is okay. And I put like quote unquote sometimes on my iPad. There are times where I was being pressured by some clients to do specific projects. I was being guilt tripped into doing specific things I didn't want to do this year. And, it came with the sacrifice of my mental health. And I felt like I had to be selfish enough to say, I don't want to do it. I can recommend you to other colleagues of mine who are capable enough to handle the job. But today I am just like not feeling well. I'm not doing the best right now. It's okay to be selfish sometimes, right? For the right reasons. 22. Materialistic things don't matter. And then I put it in parentheses again, to a degree. Because it was to a degree. I'm not saying that like, don't buy this gimbal, don't buy like that lens, don't buy that tripod. Like, buy it if it makes sense to you and it'll help your career. I think for me, since I made a specific amount of money, I was able to fit in like a nice fitted shirt that I really like. It is very expensive, but it is something that I had enough for my budget. Something that I really liked, and I thought I looked good and helped build my confidence just a little bit. When you have a nice fitted shirt, spend your money wisely. I'm not telling you how to spend your money. But what I learned is that the majority of the time I just end up not paying attention to half the things I bought. These lights, I barely use them, and I plan on selling them because I just I haven't touched them in like months. So, and I wish I didn't spend the money on it. I'm gonna be real with you. I tend to contradict myself on a lot of things, so please bear with me on on what I talk about. 23, I call it disconnect to reconnect, and I put social media as like the main thing. I currently don't have Instagram or Twitter or X. X, Facebook on my phone. I keep up with my friends. Don't get me wrong, and a lot of artists that I really have a passion, really admire. But then you start to go a little bit further, and then you start going to the explore page, and it just becomes this domino effect that just gets really annoying, man. I felt like I wasn't really properly getting things done. I felt like I was getting distracted, and social media is a big contributor of me getting distracted. Mentally, I feel like I don't have to keep checking up on everybody's post. I didn't feel like I have to compare myself to other people, specific artists who are very talented, more talented than me. I had a lot of great opportunities that came from social media, so I didn't completely delete my account. I just have it on my desktop, and to be honest with you, I just check my DMs, message other friends. But like the desktop is just a horrendous way of just operating off of social media, so it gets me off the app a little bit more quicker, to be honest with you. And lastly, 24, life does get better. I remember when I was 16, it was a very prominent age. A lot of people remember when they were 16. But when I remember when I remember specifically when I was 16 is that I was going through a really rough phase. You know, I was kind of moving houses back and forth. I was getting severely bullied, and you know, you start to ask yourself, does life get any better? Sorry, this video got really deep for no reason, but I don't know much to say from it. I don't want to bore you guys with like a whole complete spiel, because maybe that's just a different video in its own place. But you know, I do believe that if you're in a rut, I believe you can definitely get out of it. Thankful enough, I met the right people at the right time. I found out that if you keep trying your best to do great things, good things come in return. So yeah, don't give up on your dreams, because you'll be surprised of where you're gonna end up in 5-10 years if you just keep working towards it. You know, hopefully you avoid the mistakes that I make. So life does get better. You just gotta have faith. You just gotta have a really good work ethic, and you know, not get too distracted. Try to avoid the mistakes that I made, because I made a lot. Anyways, I want to give a special thank you to my mentors, John and Jerome, you know, my family, and my friends who constantly give me support. It felt like I wouldn't have gotten as far as I could in my career if it wasn't for you guys. You guys played a big role. And to be honest with you, I do not know what 2025 holds. Like, life is uncertain like that. But there's one thing I can do, is just to try and do my best in my career and learn more. That's all I can say. I'm thankful for right now. Anyways, I appreciate you guys' time, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.